Alright guys, in this video we will talk about OpenAI's latest web search models. To be specific, we'll talk about GPT-4o search preview model. GPT-4o mini search preview also works the same, only difference is costs a little less. That's all. That said, let's hit the code. Alright, so this is the typical setup. The installation, basically OpenAI and then upgrade it, and we're showing the OpenAI version, which is 1.66.3, and right here I am loading up my OpenAI API key. And before we get started, let me just mention one quick thing. Even though this version is showing right here, when I was starting out, it did not take effect. When I was running it, I was getting errors, right? So this is what I had to do. I restarted the Colab runtime process using this command. It kills the current runtime process. And once it does, all you have to do is just refresh the page and you'll be on your way. Everything will be fine. That said, let's get started. Okay, so this is the plan. We're going to focus on Chat Completion API this time. First, we're going to play with the absolute basic. Then we're going to implement the GPT-4o search preview. And then we're going to implement the same thing with options. And last but not least, we're going to play around with the context size. That said, let's look at the basics. Just in case this is the first time you're looking at it, we just bring in the OpenAI, create a client, and then call in client.chat.completion.create. And then we declare our model, in this case O3 mini, and we have a message dictionary where we put in the role as a user, and the user's question comes in as content, a one-sentence bedtime story about a tiger. All right, so let's run this. Boom, there you go. So it actually gave us a story, and this is how we have to get to the content. Completion.choice 0 message.content. With that done, now let's go finally look at our GPT-4o search preview model. Everything starts exactly the same. Client chat completion create, and this time though, before we first run this, we're gonna go ahead and try the same question with just normal GPT-4o just to show you the difference, right? How is the weather in New York? So this actually depends on a web search, right? Normally, if we had to do it, we would give GPT-4o some sort of a web search tool, Tavily search, DuckDuckGo search, etc., right? So without that, this is what happens. Let's run it. Boom. I currently cannot provide real-time weather updates, blah, 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 blah. See, that's what happens, right? But look what happens when we switch it. Now, this is a fine-tuned version of GPT-4o, which comes by default with the search capability. So if we run it now, exact same question. And look at that. Not only the current weather or temperature info, also it gives us the daily forecast of the week. All that wasn't possible with regular GPT-4o. Now let's go play around with the options. And by the way, we should look at this guy right here. Just usual response choice message content didn't work for me. I had to add this extra variable here, .strip, because it actually comes with a whole bunch of extra spaces, and when you don't handle them, you get error message, right? So the same thing as we did here before, but add .strip Python function so that it strips out the extra spaces and gives you a nice little answer like this. That said, let's go to the options. All right, so we have the same structure again. This time we're gonna play around with some options. While using GPT-4o search preview, we have our client and chat completion create. The model is as usual, the GPT-4o search preview. And this time we're adding this search options where we are giving it an approximate location, 2-character country code, US, city Atlanta, region Atlanta. And here is the message dictionary where I am asking, what are the best restaurants around Alpharetta? This is where I used to live, so let's see what we can get. Boom, there you go. There's a huge list of restaurants and such. Some of them I already know. And with these details, you can even click something like this and go exactly where it is, the location in the Google map, etc., etc., right? So this is pretty cool. Now let's get back. All right, finally we get here. This time we're going to deal with context size, the web search context size, right? We have three options: high, medium, and low. And high means most comprehensive context, highest cost, and slower response. The medium, on the other hand, balanced context, cost, and latency. And low would give us least context, lowest cost, and fastest response, but potentially lower answer quality because it's going to spend less time, right? That being said, right here, we do exact same thing, call in the same model, but in the web search option, we put in search context size and we set it as low. And this time our question would be, what movie won Best Picture in 2025? We're not looking for a huge context answer or nothing like that. So, and we want a quick answer. So that's why low is the best fit. Let's run it. All right, so we got our answer. Nice little info about the movie called Anora as a best picture. Nice little representation here, some URLs, etc. But not too much, not too less, and it was pretty fast. So just by switching our context size here, medium or high, we could probably get larger context info and even a more accurate result. But in this case, this should be good enough. With that said, I conclude this video. Thanks for watching.